Okay, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Yes, madam.
Waalaikumsalam. Yes, madam.
Alright. Okay, so first of all, I just want to remind about the dates of final test. So the dates is actually I have informed. So this is the second reminder about these dates. So final test will be uh, held in the following labs. Okay, so you have to wait until the list of the examinations, right, is announced, and so you can see where is the venue and the time allocated for the subjects. All right. Okay, so this is dates. So it's I think around 19 days from today's date. All right. Okay, and for your informations, okay, I have finished all lectures. Okay, all lectures. So we have started with introductions to the computers and programming. All right, and then we have programming logic concept with the IPO, and then we have lectures on variables, reserved keywords, data types, operators, constants, and system. All right, and then we have decision structures in Java. Okay, escape sequences, some important libraries such as maths. Then we have other library files generally in Java. Okay, then we have repetition structures such as while loop, do while loop, and for loop. Okay, then we have Java methods. And then we have arrays. Okay, we also done the graphical user interface and also the object-oriented technology together with object-oriented programming. Okay. For next week, I will start the revisions. Okay, I will just revise some important topics that we have covered previously, right? So week 13 and 14, I will conduct revision for some important topics. Regarding the final test questions, I haven't received full details about the formats of the questions. Okay, but I believe there will be MCQ and true false questions. All right. If there is structures, I'm not sure yet because that one I need to see the details. So far, I haven't received the details from the group leader. All right. Okay. uh, okay. So for today's class, okay, let's have a discussion for the following questions. All right. Okay, so you have learned some important structures such as the selections, right? Selections and also the repetitions and so on. Okay, so the questions that shown here is the problem that you need to identify suitable method or structure that required, okay, for the given situations. Right. So let's see the first situation, which is library late return fine. Okay, so we have a library charges a fine will be implemented only if a book is returned late. All right, so for the program required using Java, right, the task is as follow: to input the number of late days. If late days is more than 0, then there is a fine that should be computed using the formula of late days times 1 ringgit 50 cents and display the value of fines. All right, otherwise display no fines. Okay, so it's a simple program actually. All right, so you have learned about selections or the decision structure, okay, based on selections or the repetitions. Okay, so for these first situations, what is the suitable method to be used for the program? You can type your answer in the chat. You can type your answer in the chat. No one is typing the answer. All program must have main structure, right? Shah Iskandar. What I mean is, the program requires special structure such as maybe nested if or maybe switch structure, or maybe repetition such as while or dual. All right. See your answers there. Okay, so most of you answer if else. Why do you say so? If else. Why if else? Why if else? Okay, why if else? Multiple condition decision. All right, so it contains decisions, right? Okay, it contains decisions. So the decision is to check your days, and you have basically contain two conditions. All right, if else here. If this is the first condition, then this is the second condition. All right. Okay. So this one is using if else. All right. Okay. Let's see question number 2. Battery warning. All right. Battery warning. Okay. So a phone shows warning when battery is low. Okay. So for the task that to write a Java program that inputs the battery percentage, means that the program need to read the percentage of the battery. So if the battery has a percentage less than 20, so display as low battery. Okay, so then there's a remark, please charge. Otherwise, display battery okay. Alright, so for the second questions, okay, what is the suitable structure that should be used here? Suitable structure. You can type your answer here. If else. Why if else? Alright, so similar actually, this question number 2 with question number 1. Okay, so we still use if else for this situation. Alright, so there's a decision need to be checked here or need to be decided. Whereby after read the inputs of the battery percentage, so then we need to check whether the value is less than 20. Okay, so this is the first condition, right? If it's not less than 20, so the message that should be displayed is the battery okay. If the battery is less than 20, so this is the display statement, low battery, please charge. Alright, so we have exactly two conditions here. Alright, so in this case, question number 2, we'll be using if else structure. Alright, okay, let's see question number 3. Okay, we have shipping costs by weight and zone. So for these situations, the courier fee is depends on the parcel weight and the delivery zone. Okay, so for the program in Java, the program should input parcel weight in kilogram and zones, either zone number 1 or zone number 2. Okay, so from the weights value, okay, if the weight is less than and equal to 2, so then we apply the charge for 8 ringgit in this zone number 1. Okay, for zone number 2, the charge is 12 ringgit. Okay, so if the weight is not less than or equal to 2, right, means that the weight is greater than 2, so the charge of the zone is as follow. Okay, 15 ringgit for zone number 1, 20 ringgit for zone number 2. Right, then the final one, the program need to display the shipping cost. Alright. Okay, so for this third situation, okay, which structure that will be used here? Okay, which structure? Okay, you can type your answers there. Nested if else. Alright, see some of you saying nested. Why nested? Two decisions, nested because of two decisions, not really because of two decisions, right? Why you say nested? Two conditions is nested, not really, not because of two conditions or two decisions. Multiple decisions. Okay, not because of multiple decisions. What is the correct words? Conditions in conditions. Alright. Conditions in condition. Alright. Okay, so it is nested if. Okay. Why we use nested if? Because we have continuity in the conditions. So means that we have the first condition. Okay. So under the first conditions, there is another condition that you have to check. Alright. So this is if else. All right. And so then you have another list. All right. Okay. So this is nested if. Uh, the reason is based on the continuity of condition. Okay. Let's see the fourth question. Ticket price. Okay, at the cinema. So ticket price depends on day types, such as whether it is on weekdays or weekend and age of the group. All right. Okay. For the program needs to read the input such as the day, either weekdays or the weekend. Okay. So for weekdays, the type is denoted by W. For the weekend, it is denoted by E. All right. Then the user need to provide the age value. So for the weekdays, okay, for age that is less than 13, so the charge of the tickets is 8 ringgit. Otherwise, it is 12 ringgit. Okay, for the weekend, those are under age less than 13, the charge is 10 ringgit. Otherwise, the charge is 15 ringgit. Alright, and then the program need to display the final price of the ticket. Okay, so for this case, right, for these four situations, what is the suitable structure that need to be used here? Nested if. Alright. Okay, so yes, that's correct. Nested if. Okay, so reasons that will be based on the continuity of the conditions. So first of all, the first condition is to check whether the day is under weekday or weekend. Okay, weekday or weekend. So this is the first condition. Second conditions is if it's under weekday, then we are checking the age and the price. Okay, we're checking the age whether it is less than 30, then we set the ticket as 8 ringgit. Otherwise, the ticket is 12 ringgit. Alright. Okay, so if for the case weekend, which is the second condition, we are checking the age. If it's less than 30, then the ticket is 10 ringgit. Otherwise, the ticket is 15 ringgit. Okay, so this one we will be use nested if, okay, because of the continuity of the conditions. Right, so the fifth situation is laptop service category. Okay, laptop service category. So we have this repair center, whereby their center categorize the service type using the codes. Okay, so code is as follows. The program that will be required to be developed should read the service code from 1 until 4. Okay, then from the readed codes, then the following display statements will be screen replacement for code 1, battery replacement for code 2, keyboard repair for code 3, software installation for code 4, then invalid service code for default. Alright, so for this fifth situation, or what is the suitable structure to be used here? Suitable structure. Switch. Most of you answer switch. Okay, so yes, correct. This is switch structure. Uh, switch structure basically. So what is the data type for the input code? Okay, I have questions. What is the data type for the input code? What is data type for the input code? Okay, so it should be integer. Integer. Okay, because it is listed here lah 1 until 4. Alright. Next one. Meal preference selection. Okay, let's see number 6. We have airlines ask for meal type. Okay, so the Java program will read the meal code character such as V for vegetarian, N for normal, H for halal, G for gluten free. Right? Okay, so the program will be displaying the following information, right? Including the default case. Maybe the input is not V and H or G, so the program should display invalid meal code. Alright, so for these 6 situations, right? So what is the structure that will be used here?
Switch.
Alright, so it is switch. So what is the data type for the input code? What is the data type for the input code? Character. Alright, so I think most of you answered character. Okay, because this is a single character. V and HG. Okay, single character. Okay, let's look at the next situations. Savings goal tracker. Okay, saving goals tracker. So a user will deposit the money until reaching a goal. Okay, the user will deposit the money until she or he reach the goal. So for the program need to read the savings goal amounts, okay, in ringgit Malaysia, and ask the user repeatedly to provide the deposit amounts. Okay, so the program will stop when the total savings is at least greater than or equal to goal. Okay, when the saving is greater than or equal to the goal. Then the last one, the program will display total save and the number of deposits. Right. So for this 7 situation, what is the suitable structure to be used here? While or dual or what? While loop. While loop. Okay, so why while loop?
Because we know when to stop.
We know when to stop, or we do not know when to stop.
Uh, um,
We know the goal.
we know when saving more than gold, we stop.
Are you sure?
Uh,
Sebab kita tak tahu how many times the program should repeat. Kalau dua, at least once.
Okay. Alright, so number of repetition is unknown, correct? Number of repetition is unknown. Okay, based on the task stated here, number of repetition is unknown. And okay, so we are not sure whether the program has at least one executed. Okay, no, at least one. No, at least one. Right, so that's why we decide while loop. Okay, this is the reason. Alright, so number of repetition is unknown. And from the task here, okay, we cannot confirm there is at least one. Okay. Okay, so we will be using while loop. Okay, so next one. Number 8. Okay, sensor reading stop at the taste hole, right? We have a temperature sensor. When it sends, when this sensor reads that temperature value, so the sensor will send the readings, alright, until it detects a dangerous level. It's something like, so the sensor is plugged into your laptop. So then the sensor read what is the current temperature in that locations. Once read, so there is a reminder if, let's say it is more than 35, for example, okay, in degrees Celsius. So the program that links to the sensor will send a reminder, okay, about the level. Maybe it is something that to be warned to the user and so on. All right. Okay, so there's a program. The program will send that kinds of message. All right. Okay. So the task that the program will do is to read the input repeatedly. The input is the temperature value. And the program will stop reading when temperature is greater than or equal to 70. Alright, then the program will display the alert or the warning message and also the number of readings entered. Okay, so for this question number 8, alright, so what is the suitable structure or methods to be used here? While loop. Why while loop? Okay. While loop, number of repetitions is unknown. Alright, so there's no at least one. Okay, so that's it for number 8. Alright, for number 9. Let's see number 9. Survey response repetition. Survey response. Okay, so the survey response collects the response until the user choose to stop. Okay, so the program will ask the user to provide the satisfaction rating from 1 to 5. Okay, and ask whether to continue to another response or not. Okay, so response should be provided by the user, such as yes or no. Okay, Y for yes and for no. Then repeat until the response stated or response read as no. Okay. Then after that, the program will display the total response and also the average rating. Alright, and refer to no. Okay, so for this case, what is the structure to be used here? Why do while? Okay. Okay, so okay, so this is the repetitions, right? This is the part when the repetition is conducted. Okay. So let's say at first when this loop is executed, so the program will read the first input. Okay. Read the first input. Alright. And the program read that input. After that, ask the user. Okay. Enter another response. Y for yes and for no. Okay. So let's say at the first time the users respond no. Okay. The user responds no. Okay. So then the loop will be stopped. Okay. The loop will be stopped because of the response by the user is no. Okay. So the number of repetitions for this first input with the response no is 1. Okay. Number of iteration is 1 lah. Okay. So in this loop, basically, there is at least 1. So we are going to use do while loop. Alright. Due to number of repetition is unknown. And there is at least 1. Okay. So the meaning that is at least 1, like this case, the program will read the first inputs. After that, the program will ask the user enter another response. Okay, let's say the response provided by the user is and no. So the loop will be stopped. Okay. The loop will be stopped. So then that is one task which is read the inputs in that loop. Okay, so there is at least one task. Okay, due to that, we are going to use do while loop. Alright. Okay, let's see. The 10 questions. The 10th one, username length validations. So we have the registration system. Okay. In this system, it requires username length between 6 to 12. Okay, username length between 6 to 12. So in the program using Java, the program need to ask the user for the username input and repeat the process until length is 6 to 12 characters. Alright, after that, display that the username accepted. Okay, so for this situation number 10, okay, what is the structure that will be used here? While loop. Do while loop. Okay, so why while? Why not do while? While loop, do while. Okay, some students answer while, some students answer do while. For loop cannot. For loop cannot. Danish. Okay, so let's see. But I think other students haven't responded yet. Let's see response. Please continue provide your response. Continue provide your response. Do while. Do while or while. Fazli pilih satu je. Okay, so this is a part the program will read the inputs, right? Baru nampak Faiz use response Okay, so basically the input must be taken at least once. Okay, input must be taken at least once. Otherwise, the system cannot check the length before the user provide the username. Okay, means that user must provide something, then the program will check. Okay, so due to that, we're going to use the while. Okay, so there is a number of repetition is unknown. So then the input must be taken at least one. Then the program can check. Alright. Okay, so for this the test situations, we are going to use the while loop. Right? Okay, so next one. Okay, number 11. Number 11. Okay, we have total calories for 7 days. Where is the loop here? Okay, for loop lah. This one is a clearly state, right? For loop. Okay, so this one using for loop. Why for loop? Number of repetition is known. Okay, how many times to be repeated here? How many times to be repeated? 7 times, huh? So this is number of repetition, right? Okay. Okay, so after read that calories, okay, repeatedly for 7 times, so then the program will display total calories and the average, right? Okay, see this next questions. Wait, let me check this. Let me check. Check this out. Okay, this one. Number 12. Bus passenger count. Okay, so the bus makes 5 stops. At each stop, passengers will enter the bus. So the program required to use a loop for 5 stops and then read the input, which is the number of passenger, count how many passenger entering at each stop, and then after that, okay, after the repetition stop, display the total passengers entered and highest passengers in a single stop. Alright. Okay, so for these 12 situations, what is the suitable structure to be used here? Okay, so we have to use for loop. Okay, number of repetition is known. How many times to be repeated here? Five, right? Okay, so this is number of repetitions. So since it is known, then we are going to use for loop. Alright. Okay, let's see the last one. fitness class enrollment system. Sorry. Okay, so we have this fitness class enrollment system. So the gym enrolls members into different class types with a discount room. Okay, so in the program, to display the class menu, all right, so there is a switch structure that need to be used, all right. So for example, let's say the input of the menu or the code 1 is for yoga, 2 is for Zumba, 3 for Pilates. Then for each class or category, there is a charge as follow: 30 ringgit, 25 ringgit, and 40 ringgit. After that, the user need to provide the number of sessions, and if the number of sessions is more than or equal to 6, and the program will give the discounts of 15%. All right. Okay, so then user will be asked whether to enroll another member. Okay, so the response should be yes or no. All right, using the loop, and then the final one is to display the total collections for the day. All right. Okay, so what kinds of structure required for this program? Can you list in the sequence? Can list in the sequence? Switch and if. Okay, switch and if. Switch only or switch with other structure. Let's see what's that. Okay, so this case for this one is switch, right? Okay, for this one is switch. Right? Okay, then when the program asks the user to provide the number of stations, then the program need to check this, right? Okay, so this one using if structure. Alright, if structure. Okay, so previously switch, then if. Alright, so how about this? Okay, how about this? You have to do it sequence. I'll list down based on the sequence. Which one comes first? Alright, this one using dual. Okay, dual. Okay, so here we're going to use switch. Alright, and then if, and then dual loop. Okay. Alright, okay, so this is the last questions. Wait, let's stop the record.